At Hunter Stadium, it's the Newcastle Knights hosting the North Queensland Cowboys. The Knights on a 7-game losing streak. The Cowboys looking for a victory to keep themselves in touch with the top 8. Here's how the Knights line up. Darius Boyd is their fullback. Kurt Gidley will move from the hooking role to the halfback position. Adam Clydesdale comes in as the dummy half. The bench now for Newcastle is Roberts, Houston, Tuppeny and Newton. The coach is Wayne Bennett. Brent Tate and Matt Scott are both omissions from Origin 2 injuries to the North Queensland Cowboys. So Curtis Rona will play the 5th game of his NRL career in the back line, and Glenn Hall takes the place of Matt Scott in the front row. The bench is Louis, Sims, Taumalolo and Asiata. The coach is Paul Green.
Stay behind. Michael Morgan gets us underway. A high floating kickoff. Plenty of hang time on that one. And it will be Corbin Sims who brings it back out to get this one underway for the Newcastle Knights. Adam Clydesdale waiting at dummy half, taking over that job from Kurt Gidley. Played fullback last week against the Roosters. He'll be in the halfback role tonight, Gidley. There's Jeremy Smith taking it just short of the 30-metre line. The pocket referee providing the camera work. Willie Mason goes forward. You can see the line speed there of the Cowboys. They brought it back within 15 of the halfway line. It's Darius Boyd at first receiver. That might be a good sign. Some early involvement from the fullback, the much maligned fullback with his work for Newcastle in 2014 amidst all the salary disputes and the dramas of the previous ownership. The kick goes down to be brought back here by Curtis Rona. Playing game number 5 of his NRL career and getting the call up with Brent Tate out of action.
Well, a side that's only won 2 matches all year and lost their last 6 games, they will be desperate for a good start here. They need a very strong opening 20 minutes. The Newcastle Knights as Winterstein takes one forward and gets it close to halfway for the Cowboys.
Josh Jason going across to Scott Bolton. And the starting side tonight, Jason Taumalolo working off the bench. Here's Glenn Hall. Thurston. Short ball there for Ethan Lowe, who has been super impressive. And his first real crack at the big time this season. Thurston puts it in the air. Some pressure here on Boyd. Minute coming through. Might have been helped off the ball. It comes away to the Cowboys, though. Coming up with it was Winterstein. And there's a bit to check.
Yep. Okay. Clarkie, we had 0 tackle. We have a try. We want to check onside and the contest, please.
Well, Darius Boyd asking the question, and that's what we'll need to check. Referee James said we'll check the contest, and that can be one of the doubtful things here. Onside, players are good. Linnett and Winterstein on the outside of Jonathan Thurston. Linnett comes through, gets squeezed between a couple of the players. That's okay. There's no problem there. Comes back to Winterstein. He picks the ball up, gets away from Gagai, short of the line, then rolls over and puts the ball down.
Well, it looks okay from what we've seen so far. Nothing wrong there in the contest. In fact, McManus, if anything, was running Linnett off the ball, and that has been a talking point in recent times as well. And then Winterstein short of the line there with momentum, rolling over and planting it down.
Well, there's no issue there. And we saw from the camera angle behind the players that Linnett really didn't get involved in the contest. He was stopped by James McManus. Momentum. And that's all momentum. There's no doubt that Winterstein has come up with the first try. We're going to check onside again. Any players inside Jonathan Thurston get involved and inside the 10 metres.
Now finally the put down again. And he gets it down okay. I think we'll see the green lights here. The Colonel spinning up a try. Inside the opening 2 minutes. Very quiet Hunter Stadium. The home side conceding early points, and now Thurston, very kickable one, bending it back from right to left. He slots it over the black dot. 6-0 it is early here on Toyota Monday Night Football. Mark Gasnier.
Yeah, simple try by the Cowboys standards, but have a look at the way they come out from the back of the field. They're the best team in the competition at testing you laterally. Even if they play short, they try to put you on, this time Jared Mullen, to get a quick play the ball, but they have more passes than any other team in the competition, and that's why.
Darius Boyd with the restart. They were banking on coming up with a kickoff of their own so early in the game as James Tarmo carries, bringing it back to almost the 20. There is Glenn Hall towards Boscott, one of the Newcastle Knights, backing up tonight from Origin 2, and now a mistake in the play. The ball, Hall just losing the handle. It'll give the Knights a terrific chance here to hit straight back.
Yeah, not what they wanted off the back of that opening try. The side that must win this game in terms of their future at the end of the season, whether they're involved in playoffs. Glenn Hall just making a simple error early in the tackle count presents the Knights with a great opportunity.
The Knights go left to Darius Boyd, getting another early touch as he goes out towards Leilua. Again, Aku Uwate playing on that left wing after being a right winger throughout his career. Game 3 in a row for Uwate playing on that left-hand side. McManus, normally the left winger, out here on the right to begin this game. Rocker taking it inside the Cowboys 10. They've used up 3 plays. Clydesdale waits. Mason spotting up at the first receiver, giving it to Smith, and then they come out wider still for Sims. Working it through the forwards within a couple of metres of the line. Clydesdale goes flat to Mason. He did well to hang on to it. Some pressure there from Glenn Hall and also James Tarmo. Now Boyd, with plenty of the playmaking going wide. McManus puts a kick in, and it might have been Morgan taking it on the full in the in-goal area, it looked like. And they say that he's playing it there at the 10.
Wait here.
Well, Michael Morgan standing in the road there on the try line. I thought he might have been in the in-goal area, but they rarely get that one wrong. James McManus putting the kick in after being tested on the sideline. Here's in the replay box, McManus just a kick. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think they got it right again.
He was just with his left foot in the air, a couple of centimetres from being in the in-goal area. Terrific call by Matt Cecchin and Henry Perenara, the referees tonight. Here's Tarek Sims, collared there by brother Corbin. Now Tarmo takes it across the halfway line. 6.5 gone, 6-0 to the visitors. Now first, kicking for the corner, in behind McManus. He wants it to sit down, it'll be too deep. And the Knights will bring it back out to their own 20.
A good set by the Cowboys though. Thurston just kicking outside the 30, made plenty of metres on that set.
Watch with your foot.
Gagai works it away for Newcastle up towards his own 30. The second meeting this is between these two teams in 2014. The Cowboys up there in Townsville, who won 28 points to 8 back in round 5. Last time they were down here, the Knights gave them a hiding, 34 points to 6 early in the 2013 season as Mullen takes it across the halfway line. Played about 45 away from the Cowboys line. Tarmo left on the ground and clutching at a forearm or perhaps a shoulder, and not in a good way. Here's Boyd playing it for Clydesdale. Injury concerns for the Cowboys as Gidley goes out to Rocco, held up there by Rona and also Thompson. In fact, Matthew Wright involved in the tackle. Will put it up in the air. The Knights have only scored 2 tries off kicks so far this year. They won't score here either, with Michael Morgan continuing his great season, making a nice catch.
Yeah, good sign for the Cowboys there with James Tarmo just joining The rest of the Cowboys looks for a run.
And they'll get a penalty as well to help them with their own end the easy way. A high tackle there. Robbie Rocco slipping up a little bit too high. James Tarmo. You see him there in the frame. With Matt Scott already missing for, well, at least 6 weeks, it sounds like, with that fractured cheekbone off the back of Origin 2. Coaches would have had their hearts in their mouths watching Tarmo on the ground. In fact, it might have been Kurt Gidley and not Rocco. Slipped up a little bit too high there on Curtis Rona. Tarmo taking a carry. Here's Thurston. Going to Scott Bolton. Now he's trade off the bench for most of this 2014 season across Jason. Thurston on the right edge, linking up with Morgan. But right on his outside, the ball goes to ground and Rona is able to clean it up. It looked promising for a moment. And now Thurston again. Gives away to Tarek Sims. He just bumps it forward. A couple of plays left in this set. Looking for a double-digit lead. Thompson taking it to the line. He was grabbed there by Mason and called to play. Thurston grubbering. It's a good one. McManus under enormous pressure did very well.
Well, great job from James McManus to clean that one up because it popped up and there was a couple of Cowboys there ready to pounce off the back of the quick play the ball. He was cleaned up by Willie Mason as we watched McManus ground the ball. Morgan into a bit of space and Matthew Wright didn't trust him enough and cut back on the inside. If he had have stayed on the outside, he had Curtis Rona outside him. They could have done something down that right side.
The Knights under pressure again. They didn't fare too well with repeat sets last week against the defending premiers. They need to hold tight here. Cost Jason. Goes to Glenn Hall, a flat ball, which some of the locals thought might have been a little more than flat. Thompson on the left. Bolton. And also Lowe going with him. It's the latter who gets a chance to take it inside the Newcastle 10. Here's Thurston going to the line. Second man play. Tarmo couldn't hang on to it. It'll be a penalty against Tarek Sims for playing in an offside position.
Good work. Well, I don't know what line James Tarmo was running there, but he was on the inside of the block player. Tarek Sims had gone through and ended up picking up the ball after it bounced off James Tarmo, who couldn't handle it.
Keep an eye on this set, the back end of it. See the shape the Newcastle Knights are employing tonight. Darius Boyd has been very involved here. Here's Gidley. Slated to be playing in the half-back role, but Boyd has been ever present. Now Mason. The working over there on the ground from Tarek Sims. Here's Gidley. Going to Martin. He has Boyd on the outside. He doesn't need him. He goes straight through. Morgan is able to wrap him up and stop him 7 out from the Cowboys line. Scott, last play. Gidley goes to Rocco. Out the back. Back to Gidley. Comes to Bo Scott. He heads to the left-hand side, hanging on to it. He's going to die with the ball.
Last tackle change
on the
over.
last.
Wait, just give him the ball. Wait.
Well, they certainly didn't take advantage of that great run from Jared Mullen, the footwork to beat a couple of Cowboys defenders there. He stepped straight into Michael Morgan, who made the tackle, and then a couple of offloads. Kurt Gidley went back to the open. He should have gone to the blind. The Cowboys were shot to pieces. Bo Scott dies with the ball.
That was a curious one because he had an age. Try and link up to somebody. Now a one-on-one strip by Jeremy Smith, taking it away from Rory Cost-Jason. That was some clever work, and it gives the Knights a chance to come right back at them. Sims just outside the 20. Clydesdale, as Mullen is behind the play of the ball, barking instructions, pointing at players. See what he's able to order up right here. He's at first receiver. Goes out the back. Gidley, some numbers for the Knights. Boyd gives it on to Leilua. That's what they had in the mix. It works a treat, and the Knights have responded.
Well, put that down to Jared Mullen. He started this game. He's looked dangerous every time he's touched the ball. The footwork from him led to an early bust, and there's the footwork on James Tarmo. Just too quick for Scott Bolton, who was coming across the inside. Jeremy Smith
get up!
Came up with a big play to give the Knights the ball back, rips it out of the arms of Jason, and then Mullen with the ball again, just squares the defence up. Nice long ball to Gidley, second man play. There's 3 Cowboys on the ground, leaving Curtis Rona all on his own and isolated with a couple of Newcastle players. Leilua, Uarte outside him, Michael Morgan coming across, but to no avail.
Had to absorb some pressure at the other end of the field with a goal line dropout. They managed to do that. And then Mullen, 2 big plays himself. The break to get them at that end. And then the link on the play to the left-hand side. And not a great strike from Kurt Gidley. They have had their issues with goal kicking and plenty of other things as well in 2014. But that was lovely to watch, Gaz.
It was absolutely perfect. A beautiful set piece from the Newcastle Knights. And we saw Kurt Gidley there. He goes right to the line, which commits the defence, plays out the back. And Darius Boyd, when he's sweeping out the back with purpose, it keeps the defenders in 2 minds. So great set piece and well executed, Newcastle Knights.
Hit the nail on the head there as well, because he was there in and about behind Mullen when Mullen went straight through. And I think the defence probably had eyes for the man making the catch there off the kickoff, Darius Boyd. He was keen and involved here this evening, no question about that, as Corbin Sims will play. Clydesdale show to the open, goes back to the blind for Robbie Rocco. Looking for a quick play the ball and getting one. It gives Mason a chance to wind up. They were flat on their heels, the Cowboys, as a result. And then trying to slow things down. Trying to kill the roll. They give away a penalty.
Yep, you're right. Here we go.
A big couple of plays as Mullen gets on with things pretty quickly. Willie Mason, terrific charge, earning the Knights a penalty. Leilua, quick tap, and straight back into them.
Chance to go back-to-back right here. Another slow play the ball. Thompson taking a real chance there. Here is Uarte sliding to the turf. Still has that left knee heavily strapped. He's had that for some time now. Moving more freely in recent weeks than he was at one stage. Now Mason. We're 25 away. 3 plays gone. Mullen right. Italy out to the left. That's where they go. Players in motion again. Rocco, the first man option. A good tackle by Ray Thompson. With some help there from Matthew Wright. Down the short side goes Gidley. Good work out of dummy half. Clydesdale. Smith got away there from Bolton. Tried to dump it out the back, but held on to it. They'll play it on the last. Clydesdale for Mullen. He kicks, not badly weighted. Gagai was there and Morgan takes no chances.
It forced Morgan to make a play at the ball. Gagai was there. The kick looking like it was going dead from Jared Mullen when he did strike it. Found the gap between the defenders. Popped up. Morgan had to make a play at it.
Time your run.
And Kurt Gidley has sparked this Newcastle side. Moment there where he jumped into dummy half, was able to beat a tackler and get things going, almost produce something on the right side.
Good hands from Gidley down low to make the catch from Clydesdale. Now Mullen's off and running again, ducking under a swinging right arm there from Tarek Sims. Did it get him? I think it might have.
Tackle 2.
Jared Mullen.
And the replay on this will be very interesting, especially for Tarek Sims.
Hang on.
Going back against the grain, he had Sims wrong-footed. It was a real swipe and got him across the top of the head.
Yeah, not much contact. There's the damage there. And that was Glenn Hall coming across just to make sure he didn't go anywhere, and the knees collected him in the head. Play on.
There's Smith. Gidley looks sharp again here. Boyd giving it away to Gagai. Good defence by Linnett. And also Winterstein jamming in to stop him about 8 metres away. Boyd goes to Gidley. There's Sims. Going towards Hall and Tarmo. We've got 2 plays left in this set. Numbers on the right-hand side. Boyd to Scott. Good defence by Linnett and also Thurston. And they forced a mistake from the New South Wales origin back rower.
Yeah, great low tackle from Jonathan Thurston with Kane Linnett over the top. Just knocking the ball free from Beau Scott. He was looking to offload the ball there, Beau Scott, as he turned in the tackle.
It was a New South Wales tactic in the first 2 games of the series to target Jonathan Thurston's defence, and Scott playing that role for both New South Wales and Newcastle. It was effective in game 1, not so much in game 2, just the 1 try, of course, in the entire game, and Thurston and Linnett combining well on that previous play.
And while they're targeting both edges, Ray Thompson's chalked up 9 tackles already to suggest that they fancy their chances down that right side up against Ray Thompson and Matthew Wright.
Glenn Hall bringing it back to almost the halfway line. Will play it here for Cross Jason. First, much space down the short side here for Linnett. Comes to Scott, gets a ball away though. Mullen also involved in the tackle but couldn't wrap him up. Now Tamo weaving in traffic, another offload. Cost Jason. They'll find a way through if they keep getting chances, and Morgan, with his stepping and his speed, almost got away there from Kurt Gidley. Last play, terrible ball from dummy half. Thurston on the wraparound though is under pressure. Got away from Mullen and Leilua to get a kick in. Now Boyd gives it off to Aquila Ioante to bring it back for the Knights. They lost their way and then some right there.
Well, he had to be at his evasive best, Jonathan Thurston, there just to get a kick on the ball. Matthew Wright, a shocker out of dummy half over his head, causing Thurston to double back just to pick it up. What a great finish to that set from the North Queenslanders.
McManus almost back at the 40, playing it for the Clydesdale as Gidley takes a carry himself. It's interesting to hear that Wayne Bennett intends to use Tyrone Roberts off the bench in a dummy half role tonight, with Gidley staying in the halfback role throughout the 80 minutes. Now Mullen grabbing in behind them. Good work diving back. Tarek Sims coming up with the ball. It was an awkward one to take. He did very well to clean it up without just bobbling it backwards and giving Mullen a chance to tow it ahead.
Well, he almost found himself into space again. The footwork from Jared Mullen has been exceptional tonight, and certainly worried the Cowboys' defence every time he is getting the ball.
Back at the mid-stripe and midway through this first half. Cowboys have them at the moment by 2. Ashton Sims is out there, and now Thurston. In between McManus and also Boyd. The chase is a good one, and Ethan Lowe is there and makes the first up tackle on the Newcastle winger. Gagger. Sometime Brisbane Bronco. Plays it here for Gidley. Now Ioante towards Matthew Wright. Rona, Kiwi-born, Perth-raised winger tonight for the Cowboys. Also there is Newcastle's try scorer, Leilua, brings it back within 15 of the halfway line. Willie Mason getting a breather after an opening 20 minutes of work. Gidley comes wide for Scott. Comes towards Thurston again and goes over the top of him. Boyd looming up. Too much speed for Taumalolo. And the Knights, a long-range try to hit Boyd. They came to Thurston once again, and this time Scott got the better of him.
Well, they haven't scored many tries from the other side of halfway this season, but the Knights come up with a big one after trailing 6-0, now take the lead. 8-6 with a kick to come. Second man play, Gidley just offloads quickly to Beau Scott. He bumps Jonathan Thurston, then's got the speed to get through the line and set Darius Boyd up on his way to the try line. Able to bump off Thurston. Got himself going quickly too, Beau Scott. Too much speed for Ethan Lowe. Michael Morgan was caught in between taking Scott. He had to mark up on Scott and then couldn't get back to Darius Boyd. The cover defence from Taumalolo was never going to get there.
To make it a 4-point lead for Newcastle. No dramas for the skipper. The Knights 10, the Cowboys 6.
You're not going to believe what I've just heard.
What? Save it for the show, big boy.
NRL 360, live every Wednesday on Fox Sports.
Ben Eichen and Paul Kent revving up another intriguing episode. Not much to talk about this week, hey, Brandy?
I think they've got plenty on their plate.
Time your run.
There's no doubt about it.
A 2-hour show jammed into one at 7:30 on Wednesday night. NRL 360. Some drama and some issues in the game. Here comes the pocket referee,
Right up again,
Henry
come on.
Perenara, the former player himself, trying to keep up with the current players with the camera attached to the side of his melon, and he didn't do such a bad job, did he?
Now, come on
Interesting
up
to watch Corbin Sims take that ball forward, and Big Brother came from nowhere to make the tackle on him, but the Cowboys give away a penalty. Newcastle lead that department now 3-1. Jared Mullen undecided which side of the field he should be going for. He decides on the right towards James McManus. And as was the case on the other side of the field, where Joey Leilua took the tap and carted it forward, Dane Gagai does the same thing.
Here is Scott once again, and Thurston forced to make the tackle, going downstairs with some help from Sims and also Linnett. Jeremy Smith showing it, but taking it to the line. 4 of them involved there in the tackle. Can't get him to ground. Clydesdale jumping out of dummy half. John Asiata is also out there now. Paul Green going to his bench once again. Mullen gives it off. Joseph Tuppeny. He'll play it quickly. 15 away. Mullen puts it in the air. Chance for Gagai, but the kick was too deep, and Thurston comfortably takes the ball inside his own end goal. And Robert Louis is out there now, and it looked like a straight swap for Ray Thompson.
Ray Thompson off the field. Louis in a dummy half there.
So Tuppeny is out there for Corbin Sims as Ashton Sims takes it forward. Is there any drama, Andy Raymond, with Ray Thompson, to your knowledge?
There certainly is, Warren. Straight back into the dressing room. It's a hamstring issue. Obviously, a forced change. It's going to affect the rotation over the course of the next 55 minutes too.
Yes, because Louis has been coming on ordinarily in the second half, and Thompson giving Cos Jackson a breather at dummy half. And that won't be the case here tonight. Now the Cowboys get a penalty, looking for a try to level things up.
Jared Mullen, the player penalised, just upending Ethan Lowe. There's the run. Not much in it. It's tipped him backwards.
And understand their frustration. The referee's call, having seen that replay, is Jason from dummy half goes to Thurston. There's a chance for Asiata. Gives it off for Tamalolo. They play it inside the 20. Thurston again. Bypasses Morgan to give it to Linnett. Mullen was there in front of him. And Morgan harassed there by Gagai. Got some help from Beau Scott. They've got plenty of tackles up their sleeve now. Thurston is on the ground, clutching at his left ankle.
Time off. Clarkie.
He is not happy about something after the pass had been made. He is hobbling around, upset at the injury and perhaps also the contact from the Newcastle Knights.
Well, I followed the ball that went out to Kane Linnett. Here's the pass from... He's just shoved there by Jeremy Smith, and obviously Smith has trodden on his ankle. There he is there. Treads on his ankle as he pushes him over.
They're saying it was a penalty against Jeremy Smith for the contact on Jonathan Thurston. It cost Jason from dummy half. Goes to Louis. Here is Asiata. He's a nuggety type. He's junior football for the Wentworthville Magpies. Paul Green from the Roosters to the Cowboys. Lowe stepping back in towards Houston, and also Scott. He's only 4 metres away. Bypass the decoys to go to Thurston. A chance here for Tamalolo into space. He was reaching out to look for the line and knocked it on in doing so.
Some desperate defence there. When Tamalolo found his way just behind the Newcastle defenders, you thought for all money that he was going to score Kirk Gidley around the legs. He fell off, but Joey Leilua has come up with a try saver there with Smith over the top.
Knights win the scrum, and it's Uwate who takes it forward. Person looks to have shaken off the ankle problem, but for the moment he's defending out on the left wing. No Matt Scott tonight. Bring take for the rest of the season. And Ray Thompson also now after suffering a hamstring injury in the opening half an hour of this one, and Thurston defending on the left wing. Ankle problem. Boy, the Knights struggling with their footing in this set of 6.
Well, both sides have been struggling. Opening 28 minutes now, holding their footing.
Houston to play it. The halfway line goes back to Mullen on that left boot of his. It's a long kick, and he picks out Winterstein on the full. It's a cold old night in Newcastle. There'll be plenty of dew on the ground as Rona gives it away to Matthew Wright. Coming across, Roberts was there in cover, couldn't pick him up, but Gidley could. Great return by the Cowboys, and now a penalty against Gidley. Jumping in too quickly from Marker.
Careful, mate. Careful.
A little bit of a push and shove with Matthew Wright.
Thanks, mate. We got it. Shane.
Penalty here.
Go, just explain.
Yeah.
How come I can't get there? Because I was up a marker.
Yeah, we ruled that you went too early from marker.
But there's no one there.
It's a penalty. We've ruled it.
He's holding up momentum.
Here we go.
Come on.
Kirk
Nice.
Gidley pleading his case in your lounge room right there.
Yeah, nice play. And there's the string of penalties and how they've fallen. The Cowboys, the last 3. Winterstein did a great job there from the kick return to link with the players out in the right. Good strong tackle. Jeremy Smith on Ashton Sims.
Now Tarek following suit, and will play it here just outside the Knights 30. Goes to Lou. He puts the foot down, trying to find a bit of space there between Tapani, and he's lost it.
Yeah.
There's a good tackle by the rookie Joseph Tapani, and again the Cowboys making a mistake. Good attacking position. A little hand there might have helped the ball out from Chris Houston.
Yeah, might have been unlucky there, Robert Louis. Chris Houston just reaching around. I don't think you can rule it a strip. Houston on the blind side of the player, the arm coming around, knocked the ball out, but that's an error on the second tackle. They made an error the last time they were down here with Taumalolo not able to reach the try line and coming up with a drop ball.
Once again, from a scrum, work it away from their own end. Included 12 of 14 sets after half an hour of play. Cowboys 10 of 15, and most of those mistakes coming at this end of the field. Here's Scott. There by Nathan Lowe and also Thurston. That was a tough, an easy one to take. Did well reaching down to in those mitts of his. Cost Jason. Sims involved in the tackle, and now Roberts. Wayne Bennett was true to his word. Roberts in there at dummy half, mixing things up with his speed. Mullen puts it up in the air. Not a great chase of many of the Knights. Morgan adjusting in the breeze to make the catch. Steps away from a couple of Knights chases before Houston and Gidley wrap him up.
Tyrone Roberts in a dummy half will keep the Cowboys defence honest for the final 9 minutes of this half.
Linnett coming in for a carry, running into Houston, supplying a quick play the ball. Cost Jason though. It's ponderous there with his options. He had Thurston on his outside, and thinking about it 2 or 3 times, decided to take the tackle. Asiata. They'll play it here on the last. Come away to Thurston to just kick it towards McManus. He was thinking about the sideline, but didn't have the angle he was looking for. McManus stepping back to the 30-metre line to be stopped there by Ethan Lowe. 2 tries to 1 after 32 minutes here on Toyota Monday Night Football. The rank underdogs as far as position on the table is concerned, but as you saw before the game started, warm favourites. The punters were the Newcastle Knights before this one commenced. Mullen, Gidley goes across the board. Here's a chance for Leilua. You like to see that, getting an early possession, planting the ball down before he was back on his feet. There was a time you couldn't do that. A lot more lenient with the attacking teams in a number of ways, the referees in 2014. They play it here just outside the 20. And Mullen it is, who just chips it towards the corner. Some pressure here on Rona going up. Got a hand to it, knocked it forward. It'll be more possession for Newcastle.
Take the scrum, thanks, Chris.
Well, Mullen just threw it up, hoping that he'd force an error, and he's done that. Curtis Rona not able to pull that one in. Had a reasonable go at it. There was Newcastle, Uarte and Joey Leilua coming through. They do look good when they combine.
Nice and steady. Ball. Out.
And here are the Knights, a full set of 6 from 10 metres away. Almost a mix-up there from Mullen and Leilua on play 1. And they got away with it just as Roberts comes out to Tuppeny, using his footwork to step away from Asiata, but Cross Jason was underneath to wrap him up. Here is Ginley stepping off the right foot. He had Sims beaten. He reached out and might have slid in to score.
Stephen Clark, tackle 3. Have a try. Check no one had hold of him, mate.
Well, Matt Cecchin thinks it's a try, and it did look like that. Kurt Gidley ducking under a tackle. His momentum never halted. He continued to roll and search for that try line. And as long as the put down is okay, I think he's found it. Step off the right foot. He beats Tariq Sims. He's not held by Ashton Sims. And there's no doubt about him getting the ball down, despite the attention from Michael Morgan. And there it is on the line. There's no doubt about this one being green, was. And they've got a challenge now, the Cowboys.
Do they ever? 14-6. From beside the uprights, no problem again for Kurt Gidley. It's a 10-point game. 16-6, the Knights on top, Gaz.
Yeah, and it's been absolutely brilliant first half from the Newcastle Knights. They really have a look at them from the back of the field. They're really channeling their right-hand side, the Cowboys' left, and making Jonathan Thurston do a hell of a lot of work. On top of that, they've been a lot more expansive. They're prepared to shift off the back of the quick play the balls, and still 14 from 16 in regards to completion. So I don't think they can play much better than this, the Newcastle Knights.
They were in a similar position last week, as we said, against the defending premiers early on stage. The Roosters run over the top of them in that second half, but hanging on to the ball, playing for each other, trusting the team, all the key indicators that Wayne Bennett looks for. It's a simple game plan he likes to employ. The defence has been rock solid as well. Here's Tyrone Roberts stepping away and nabbed there by Cross Jason. Almost at the halfway line on 4 plays. Mullen, play number 5, putting a kick in, taking it all the way to the line. Got plenty on it as well as Morgan brings it back. Almost got away there from Clint Newton, making his second appearance of the season.
We just had a feeling that Jared Mullen was ready to run the ball on the 5th tackle. He was into the defensive line when he decided to put that kick in. And he's playing with plenty of confidence, the number 6.
Here's Leonard going to Thurston, a chance, another knock on, was it?
0.
I'm going to say it was touched by the Newcastle Knights. They somehow came up with the ball cleanly and didn't knock the ball on North Queensland.
Gee, they got away with that one. The Cowboys, Jonathan Thurston, just trying to keep the ball alive. It was a lazy pass, found a Newcastle hand.
Now Asiata to the line. Thurston, a flat ball there for Ethan Loeb. Good defence by Jared Mullen. Standing his ground, knocking down the back row. Thurston to Linnett again. They keep trying down this short side. Morgan's ball touched the Newcastle Knight. It'll be 6 more tackles. Another call going the way of the Cowboys. No doubt about that one. Here is Tariq Sims. Taking it down within 25 of the Knights line. Just outside 2 minutes remaining in this first half. A huge chance for the Cowboys to close the gap. Morgan running, going towards Gidley. He makes a good tackle, just like Mullen did previously on the other side of the field.
Well, their edges have been good.
Taumalolo inside the Knights 10. Cross Jason goes to Louis. Out the back here for Thurston. Flat pass. Low was the second option. He did well to hang on to it. He's within a metre of the Newcastle line. Asiata rushes to dummy half. Thurston gives it to Linner, trying to spin his way to the line. He'll be held up just short. And I'll say he's in the field of play. It'll be the last ride here. Thurston taking it to the line, taking them on himself, trying to get there, but losing it at the death.
Got a handover, boys. 10 out.
He just about ghosted his way between the Knights defenders, but in reaching out, he lost it.
On this line, Ashton.
Well, the Newcastle defence was assuming that Jonathan Thurston was going to put the ball across field and kick it. He almost caught them napping. Darius Boyd, Tyrone Roberts, Clint Newton, some desperation there.
It was enough. Some heavy contact as McManus brings it away. Jason was there. And again, McManus slipping as he came towards the tackle. His footwear tonight. Here's Roberts going to Newton and losing it, giving a chance for the Cowboys with just on 30 seconds remaining in this first half. We'll get 2 or 3 plays here. Tarek Sims looking for a quick play the ball. Louis and Thurston both out on the right edge. Here's Thurston going at the back for Morgan. He kicks. Good hands out to Uate. He looks up and he was away. But there are whistles blowing everywhere. The chase is still on. Arcu's running away. He's going to be disappointed though when they call it back for a knock on 90 metres back down the field. Oh, I can't believe it, he says.
He still doesn't know it.
You're kidding me.
A little knock on by Aquila. The kick from Michael Morgan found Uate, but a little knock on before he was able to sprint 80 metres.
Here it is again. It looked like a good pickup. Just a little knock on right there. Maybe even a second time as well. It's halftime here on Toyota Monday Night Football. The Knights on top of the Cowboys. If the Cowboys can get through some sets in attack especially, they're right in this. Roberts with the restart for Newcastle. Hooks it towards the sideline. It goes down to Matthew Wright, wearing 2, but playing at right centre tonight with Curtis Rona on his outside. He plays it for Koss Jason. There is Tarek Sims, along with brother Ashton, the 2 players that Kurt Gidley beat. He's run to the line in the 35th minute to extend the scoreline for Newcastle. Asiata. Now Ashton Sims running towards Joseph Tuppeny and also Bo Scott. Back out the 40. Here's Asiata again. Within 5 of the halfway line. We're kicking it off the back of a slow play the ball. 3 Knights in there and Asiata gets up holding. They've had their injury worries again tonight. Ray Thompson now with a hamstring strain in the first half. Robert Louis is out there. We'll see out the rest of the game. That injury to Matt Scott and Brent Tate, Gavin Cooper, Cameron King, Lachlan Coote earlier in the season. Suddenly getting a bit thin, aren't they, as far as stocks and their depth is concerned?
Well, they are, and they're 10 points down in this game, and we spoke about the importance of this game. The next 3 out of the next 4 games are away from Townsville, where they haven't had a win. Strong impact there from Tarek Sims over the top of Tarpany.
That stung Tarpany as well. Comes back to his haunches after he played the ball as Houston takes it down to the Cowboys 40. On the last. It's Roberts to chip it out of dummy half and towards the corner. It's a well-weighted kick as well. Morgan under some pressure here. Scott trying to hold him up. Boyd takes him into the in-goal area. Boyd.
He's in the air the whole time. His feet were on the ground.
I called help.
You called help. His feet were on the ground the whole time.
Hey, one, I'm not going to have you come and yelling at me.
What are you doing,
okay,
mate?
I called.
You can't call held when he's surrendering and his body's still in the air.
I can call held when momentum stops in the tackle, and in that case it stopped. It clearly stopped, and when I called held, another one of your players joined the tackle.
On the ground then.
That's the explanation.
Chris James supplying the explanation, as you heard, quite clearly. In your face as well.
I think Michael Morgan had done enough and momentum had stopped. Let's just have a look at it again. I think it had stopped long enough for him to call held. The Knights continued on with it.
Getting up to the back of his neck is Antonio Winterstein. The Knights believe a tough call against them. Goal line play with Michael Morgan. The Cowboys instead have it here. Almost back at the halfway line where Asiata will play. Carries taking onto the field. Taumalola getting across the top there of Clint Newton. It's a shove in the back for his trouble. Robbie Rocco also left on the ground. Now spread back to the middle. Tarek Sims is there. Come back to Louis on the last. As he grubbers towards Uwate. He, like Morgan at the other end, will have his hands full, and Robert Louis makes a good tackle with Wright coming in over the top as well.
Not square.
Now the markers were split all the time there. You could see that. Matt Cecchin standing behind the play the ball. It was an easy decision for the referee to make. Robert Louis never square and never behind. Squared up with his second marker. He just undid all the good work from the kick and the chase and the tackle on Uwate.
Wait for the touch.
There it is. Cross.
Oh.
Tough to get a good angle on it right there. And the penalty at either end of the field. Respective sides away from their own 20. There's Rocco playing. As well after getting back to his feet. Tougher. Met there by Ashton Sims and also cost Jason. Goes to Newton. Missed the first half of the season with the bicep muscle tear. Arm heavily strapped here again tonight, as you would expect. And Chris Houston has it back in good field position. Play 5 is Mullen. Played as if he was perhaps going to kick, and now Gidley links with Boyd. They've got their hands full out wide. Robert Louis doing well to hang on to him. Otherwise, Boyd was away. Goes back to Mullen to kick it on the last. Not a great kick again. Thurston missed it. It went off his hands straight to Michael Morgan.
Now that was fortunate for the Cowboys. Thurston up above everyone. The ball straight through his hands and a good reflex catch by Michael Morgan. The Knights look good again in that set. Great shape when they come to the left. The two halves and Darius Boyd involved.
Cost Jason clutching at his ribs through an awful pass there. Matthew Wright. Play 4, they're only 12 metres out from their own line. Good carry right here. Tarek Sims, who came in to make it, but he's just still 20 metres out from his own line as Thurston puts the kick in. It'll bounce down eventually. McManus, he's on ice skates tonight. He just can't keep his feet.
They're probably fortunate to the Cowboys. Jonathan Thurston just getting a rush kick away. The bouncing ball gave the chase a bit more time to get closer to the man that carted it back, James McManus. On the attack again, Newcastle.
And it's Newton. Runs towards the defence there of Ethan Lowe and also Tarek Sims. Mullen tries to keep it alive and will do that. It bounces up here for Tapani. Standing in the tackle there. Oh, that was a terrible ball. There's no call as yet. Roberts ends up with it. Well, that had to be a metre forward, sure. Are our eyes deceiving us?
No, it's right in front of us. We're square with that, and there's no doubt that Tapani, he was swung around and the ball travelled forward out of his hands. The Knights get away with it, and Gidley throws the dummy, but well wrapped up by Robert Louis.
Now Boyd on the last play. A chance again, perhaps. It came off a Cowboy. Not played at, though. Still the last. Boyd doesn't realise it. Can't get it away. Rocco appealing, saying surely it was played at.
Give him the ball.
Darius Boyd
Over
thinks
here.
it had to be our ball.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether there was any movement from the Cowboys' legs. It just went straight into them. Curtis Rona wrapped up quickly.
Whether it was played out or not, probably not. A little justice in the end for the Cowboys after that call went against them off the pass from Tuppeny to Tyrone Roberts. The referees were both at 90 degrees to the pass. They couldn't see it.
Touch judges were there, but
That's very true.
there's two of them.
Just a fairly obvious one, we thought. Morgan goes to first. Kick one play early, looking for the corner. It will find the line about a metre out from the corner post. And the Cowboys won't mind forcing the Knights to work it away from a scrum at their own 10.
They battled last set to get out of their own end. There's the kick. There's no doubt Matthew Wright played at that one. Darius Boyd picks it up. It should have been a 6 to go call. There's Tarpany, swung around with the pass.
The Knights win the scrum. Good news for the Cowboys and Paul Green. They are a perfect 5 from 5 as far as completed sets goes. And this opening to the second half. Bo's got a strong run again. They've got their hands full with him tonight on the right edge. Oh, he's going to load up.
Bo.
Origin 2 all over again.
Well, hopefully the referees don't let the players just mill around for the next 5 minutes while they argue with each other. And they won't do it here. Jared Mullen, he'll get on with it. Was the leg pull by Ethan Lowe that drew the penalty.
Is that Bo Scott getting one back? A little sneaky slap that JT performed from behind Cameron Smith's back the other night. Well, they've been looking for a square up. Now here's Houston playing it 40 away. Roberts on Newton juggled it, gave it away to Mullen. Now they're in motion on this right-hand side. Gaggai's away. He got through Lowe's tackle. Goes to Morgan. In and away and in for the try.
Spectacular stuff from Dane Gagai. Increases the lead. They're out to 20 points now. 14-point lead with a kick to come, but the footwork from Dane Gagai was beautiful to watch. Clint Newton almost dropped the ball, didn't expect it. Running back across the ruck, beats Thurston, beats Ethan Lowe, and shows great speed. Little in and away on Michael Morgan to make his way to the corner. And if the Cowboys had a job in front of them, it's just become a whole lot tougher. Nice footwork there from Gagai. We haven't seen it often this season.
As Gidley strikes it, well, it stays straight enough. He adds the extra 2, and it's 22 points to 6. Penny for Paul Green's thoughts at the moment, and we'll get them on Sterlo on Thursday night live at 7:30. The boys will be discussing this game, and Paul Green is mic'd up for us tonight. You'll hear some of that on Thursday night. That will be fascinating.
Stay behind!
Viewing and listening. And Kieran Foran also joining the boys on the panel as well.
Contact.
Little bobble there from Darius Boyd, the floater from Michael Morgan off the
Lock
kickoff.
in markers!
He reeled it back in as we get a look at the Newcastle side from behind them. Chris Houston.
Off the ball, Rory.
Roberts again from dummy half has been good. After coming on for Clydesdale, Rock goes away and he gives it to Darius Boyd. He's got Roberts in support. Roberts chased by Thurston. He can't get to him. It's all the Newcastle Knights. They go back to back. A length of the field job off the Gagai try. And they are killing them suddenly here in Newcastle.
Well, we've seen the footwork of Jared Mullen cause the Cowboys defence some problems. Chris Houston hits it up. This time it's Robbie Rocco. Just standing down the left side. Just a bit of footwork, a step, a swerve. Takes the tackle of Rory Jason. Keeps the arms free, offloads to Darius Boyd, who has been there all night. And Tyrone Roberts trailing him. He was struggling to keep up with him for a while there. Boyd with a great burst of speed. Thurston chases to no avail.
The Kings of Monday night here at Hunter Stadium, and Gidley from right in front again makes it a huge scoreline now, 28 points to 6, and they have just blitzed this Cowboys defence, which is leaking badly at the moment.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed, Paul Green, with the defence in the last couple of minutes. Jonathan Thurston, Ethan Lowe beaten in the Gagai try. That was sloppy stuff from the Cowboys in and around the ruck. Robbie Rocco, just with a bit of footwork, able to get that arm free, beat a couple of players and offload to Darius Boyd. Morgan gets us underway again.
Kick goes down to Gagai. Looks up and there's a pretty good chase from the Cowboys, but they need that and a whole lot more now. Just over 25 minutes remaining, down by 22. This is almost a repeat of what we saw here last year. Knights going to toweling at 34 points to 6. They might get there and then some before this one is done. The mood the Knights look to be in tonight. We're talking about second half wobbles as they came back out. Well, they put that particular stat to bed here in the opening 15 of this second half. The kick will find the line.
He was shooting for a 40-20, Jared Mullen. He's disappointed with himself. Had a reasonable crack at it, just hooked it too much. Found touch 10 metres short of the desired mark. But the Cowboys' defence caught on their heels. Clint Newton almost skirting around. Certainly not the quickest player out there. Skirting around the Cowboys' defence around the ruck there.
Play the ball from 8 minutes. Forward pack still missing Cade Snowden. Cuthbertson. You mentioned, of course, Alex McKinnon, who was part of that Blues dressing room from Game 2 last week at ANZ Stadium. That was tremendous to see as well. And now another mistake by the Cowboys. Suddenly they're back to their poor handling ways of the first half. Now Boyd is almost away again.
I don't know what the Cowboys were doing there, but off the back of a good run from Tarek Sims, they turned the Newcastle defence around. They were all set to the left. James Tarmo was required to pass the ball. Instead, he took it forward and then realised that, gee, I should get rid of it now, and threw it to Robert Louis, who was surrounded by Newcastle players. Mullen, the footwork, gets on the outside again.
Here is Gidley. It was Tarmo coming out on the line quickly at Mullen. He's lucky that Mullen just didn't skip by him and pull downfield once more. He tries to do that here. He runs towards Louis. The offloads come from Newton as well. Gidley stepping off the right foot, losing the ball. And it's going to be Ashton Sims who comes up with it for the Cowboys. North Queensland need just everything to go their way from this point on to drag themselves back into the game. Ethan Lowe will play it inside his own 40. Here is Kane Linnett. Louis. Dummy half. Ashton Sims goes across the halfway line. Rory Jason is off the field. We'll report on him in a moment. Having an issue with him as Tarek Sims is taken around the shoulders there by Joey Leilua. Goes all over the top of him as well and trying to play it, trying to milk a penalty. There's none coming. Bolton, Thurston, back on the inside there for Tarmo. Standing in the tackle, and they have one more. They need a result every time they get down here. We'll chip it. Thurston gets away from Boyd. We'll keep it in the field of play. Get away from Antonio Winterstein. They need repeat sets, if not points, every chance they get inside the Newcastle 20. I mentioned Rory Jason. Let's go downstairs to Andy. Where's the news, Mr. Raymond?
Was it Jonathan Thurston started the night with 3 lieutenants in terms of direction for this footy side. Already Ray Thompson's gone with a hamstring issue. Rory Jason now back into the dressing room with either broken rib or rib cartilage. Highly unlikely to be back. So Thurston and Robert Louis steering this ship solo now.
We saw Jason in his own 20 minutes ago holding a rib. Halfback and a hooker. A whole lot of points as well. There is Wright. On the way to Rona. Scored 4 tries in 4 games now in the NRL, the 22-year-old. Wrestling in the tackle here, trying to milk a penalty, coming to grips with Gagai, giving him a shove, and then Gagai gives him one back. The boys will have a chat about it, knowing they can't throw a punch, otherwise they're straight to the sin bin. It's Ashton Sims to work it up towards the halfway line. A good carry by the veteran. He was dived on the ground by Jeremy Smith and winced in pain. Here's Morgan up in the front line, trying to use his speed to get away. Almost did it as well. He plays it quickly for Louis. And play 5 finds Thurston. He's got Lowe, Linnett, and also Wittgenstein on his outside. McManus gets back there and cleans up, and this time they will force a goal line drop out.
Yeah, one of the better sets from the Cowboys. Michael Morgan almost busting the Newcastle defence there. Beat Robbie Rocco and was able to step out of the tackle from Kurt Gidley, and off the back of that, Thurston. It's Curtis Rona and Dane Gagai. Gagai comes down with the forearm. Rona didn't like it, understandably.
Time you run, fellas. Stay behind.
There's the aftermath of it. Well, the Cowboys get themselves another set and need a try off the back of it.
Yes, they do. They need 4 straight. All of them converted. Have it just outside the 30 as Bolton plays it. Ashton Sims and a big carry in that previous set of 6. Given the field position. Now Morgan there in the front line more and more as this game wears on. Louis at dummy half. Thurston on one side. Morgan on the other as the playmaker. Get a chance right here. It comes out the back to him. Sums things up. Runs to Rocco. Takes him to ground about 15 away from the Knights line. Used up for him. Pass there from Thurston to Taumalolo. Did very well reaching behind himself to keep possession. They've got one more chance. Morgan gives it to Tarek Sims, and he scores pretty easily.
Happy Chris.
The Knights just flat on their line, inviting Sims into the in-goal area, and he took it and then some.
Well, you just made mention of Michael Morgan jumping up in the front line and doing some extra work. The ball playing fullback, just going to the line, dragging Robbie Rocco in. Tarek Sims hitting the space on the outside of Robbie Rocco and squeezing in between Joey Leilua, getting the ball down before he could be held up.
Just a tick under 80%. And he hits it well, a bit too much hook though. That hurts. So to make it back to a 28-all situation, you could afford one miss, and that was it right there. It's a long way back still, Mark Gasnier.
It is a long way back, but if there's a team that can score points in clumps, it's the Cowboys. They're very good at it, obviously with Jonathan Thurston. But look, the worst set of their game results in a try. I have to admit, though, was down at ground level, body language doesn't look great.
Time you run!
You'd think it'd come off the back of some ordinary players if they are to score many tries.
I can see how the Knights respond. There's obviously right again.
Right, lock in.
Chris James with the ref cam on. Some great shots tonight when the players have come up.
Jeremy, square it
the
up.
toss with him.
Willie, get square.
The pressure the referee faces in his face like that to their point forward. Here's Ethan Lowe, well contained on that Left edge of the field tonight for the Cowboys as Louis comes up with Sims. Bolton goes with Thurston. Some space here on the right-hand side. Morgan takes some of it before he gives it to Rona, who puts a kick in away from Darius Boyd. I don't know that any of the Cowboys knew there was a kick coming in rugby union style, and he is a former rugby union player, Curtis Rona. I don't know that he needed that right there.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Michael Morgan really needed to throw the ball to Curtis Rona. The Knights had everyone marked up. It wasn't as if Rona was in space. Didn't give him much chance. Morgan might have been better to just dig into the line himself.
Possession is everything at the moment for the Cowboys as Lewis snapped in a good tackle. Tarek Sims was there to hear the contact through our microphones as Willie Mason is back on deck, losing the ball out the back, and they're going to say it was helped out.
Well, they've had a fair bit of possession over the last 7 or 8 minutes, the Cowboys. Newcastle's first chance back down this end over that period. Tamo just had hold of the ball the whole time, and as Willie Mason fell to ground, it was ripped out. And if there was any sign of a comeback, they can shut it out right here.
They can seal it with a 4-pointer now as Clydesdale is back out there at dummy half. Goes to Corbin. Sims charging hard at both Louis and also Bolton. Tamo has some defensive work to do to make up for his strip and giving away the penalty. As Mullen finds Boyd. Here's Gagai again, the magic feet of Dane Gagai. And the Knights, you'd think, are home right now.
Well, it's been just great to watch the footwork of Dane Gagai in this second half. Grabbed himself a try earlier. This time looked like he was well marked by Winterstein, who was coming in to make the tackle, but just some quick footwork there to get him on the outside. Just swiveled his body ever so slightly to avoid the impact from Winterstein, who
kick this one fading away from Kurt Gidley. It stays at 32 points to 10, but Art Gasnier, sure as a former right setter, loving the work of Dane Gagai here tonight.
I sure am was. I'm a big fan of Dane Gagai. I think he's been great tonight, as has Darius Boyd. The funny thing is, I don't reckon it's one thing they've ever got the balance right, the Newcastle Knights. We see a short kick here. It's one thing they've never got right, and Newcastle will get the ball back. They've never got the right balance between when to shift early to Gagai and Lua with the strike they possess, and when to go out the back and play structured. If this Knights backline stays together for a couple of years, knock on from Kurt Gidley, and in a couple of years it's going to be scary.
Well, he's made a couple of mistakes the last couple of times he's touched the ball, Kurt Gidley, but it has been his best game of the season, moving back into the halves. His combination with Jared Mullen, Darius Boyd out the back. There's the second half completion rate, certainly a lot better from the Cowboys at 85%. The Knights continue on their way, only making 5 errors.
All the way in, Darius. Willie, can you get hit in?
Dane Gagai will pack into the scrum. Given the injuries that Queensland have heading into Origin 3, and he not missed a training session in Origin camp before the season began. He might well be in the mix given his form tonight for Origin 3 with Brent Tate, of course, out of action. But I'm guessing these papers were stamped for at least 2014 not to be a part of what Queensland are planning for Origin and the culture that they try to develop over the last decade now, almost, under the coaching of Mal Meninga. Here are the Cowboys. Louis going from dummy half and reaches out once again. A fairly soft try conceded by Newcastle. The second time this half on their own line.
The speed of the play, the ball from Michael Morgan, just giving Louis an opportunity there to jump out of dummy half. The Knights' defence, Willie Mason just dragging himself off the ground. That certainly helped Louis and made his mind up to have a go at the try line, with defence really not getting forward off their try line. Jonathan Thurston converts. Well, you mentioned Queensland, of course, with them losing on Wednesday night. It hasn't happened for quite a while. All Queensland sides losing. The Titans going down, the Broncos losing against the Warriors, and the Cowboys on their way to a loss here.
Yep.
They're back within 16 with 11 minutes remaining.
Sacrificed a bit of distance, mate, for ball vision.
Yes.
Stay behind.
If they were to score in the next minute or two, they couldn't discount anything, given some of the miracle finishes we've seen on Monday Night Football in recent seasons.
We've seen wins after the siren.
Yes, we have. Melbourne against St George Illawarra at Amy Park earlier this season. Here's Tamo on a mixed night, I guess you could say, the big fella this evening. We'll play it here on tackle 3, just inside his own 40. Ashton Sims losing the ball, one-on-one strip, and it's Corbin Sims who nabbed it from him, just like in the backyard down in Gerringong. They're 3 metres away, and it'll be a penalty as well. Well, this one warrants looking at again. And do you reckon he won't let his brother know about it after the game?
Well, Ashton Sims has been one of the better Cowboy forwards in this second half. His runs have built some sort of platform, but on that one, Corbin Sims' little brother rushed in, knew exactly how to play that one, didn't he? Just got the ball away before Chris Houston made a touch to become the second man in the tackle, and he was off for the try line.
Get the impression how cleanly he stripped it. Brother Ashton, that wasn't the first time that's happened. They take the tap, Newcastle. Clydesdale will go wide for Gidley, giving it from Mason. Comes back towards the 10. Tariq Sims involved there in the tackle. 3 of them out there on the field. One of them's going to be smiling, though, by full time here. There's Munn, short ball. Jeremy Smith standing in the tackle. He's so strong, so hard to get to ground. Mullen again at first receive. Comes for Gidley. Goes to Leilua, uses some footwork to get on the outside there. Morgan and Aquila Uarte. Too strong. He goes over the top. And now you Newcastle fans can celebrate.
Well, he's moved to the left, scored a hat-trick a couple of weeks ago against the Tigers. And that is 6 tries now in his last 3 games for Aquila Uarte. The one-on-one strip from Corbin Sims gave them the field position. They got a penalty off the back of it. And we've seen a couple of one-on-one strips tonight. Of course, Jeremy Smith got things started early in the half, early in the match, with a one-on-one strip that gave them field position to score their opening try. Leilua, he still had some work to do, Uarte, but just over the top of Curtis Rona. They have looked good when they've linked both halves. Michael Morgan just couldn't get himself involved in the tackle quick enough.
Gidley from just inside the sideline hits the upright. Tough night from out wide for the skipper. It's a 20-point lead, 7.5 remaining. This is a huge win, a real boost in confidence for the Knights, isn't it, Mark?
You're exactly right, was huge boost. And just looking at the players' body language, you sense there's so much relief in this victory out the frustration they've had of how close they've gone. You think of the Warriors game, the Tigers game, so much effort involved, but yet they come up short. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go on and win a few in a row here, the Newcastle Knights.
Well, the pay issues have been removed. Change of ownership. And they're playing like a side that's a bit more comfortable with their off-field situation, as well as their on-field situation.
There's Ashton Sims on the bench. He wouldn't be happy about little brother stripping the ball off him, but he has been one of the better Cowboys in this second half. And in the absence of Matt Scott, he's certainly tried his best to get the Cowboys going forward. He's probably been the most effective too.
The training in the lead-up to this game, James Tamo, Glenn Hall and Ashton Sims got together and said, amongst us, we have to make up for the absence of Matt Scott. It's tough to do. Queensland and Australian forward has been outstanding in his time with the North Queensland Cowboys as Jared Mullen finds the line, and they'll just run down the clock from here.
Yeah, we spoke about the importance of this game for the Cowboys and their chances of making the semis. They will leave Hunter Stadium tonight still sitting 2 wins out of the 8. 3 of their next 4 games are away from home. Their home game in that pit stretch is South Sydney, so they don't get any easier, and it's a critical period, and they'll have to do it without Matt Scott, who'll be missing for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Brent Tate for the season, and the injuries that they've picked up tonight, Ray Thompson and Rory Jason, both being forced off the field.
Jason, as the ball goes from Wittgenstein to Robert Louis. Jason can't get himself fit. We lost Cameron King for the season with torn ACL. Thin suddenly for dummy half options. And that force Michael Morgan back into the halves for their game against the Rabbitohs on Saturday night, which, as it turns out, will now be a massive game for the Cowboys. 6 wins and 8 losses. And you'll see that game live, of course, on Wild Turkey Bourbon Super Saturday. Here's Thurston inside the 30. Inside, going outside, low, pops it back to him. It comes to Asiata. He shows it and almost skips through a little hole in the line. There's been a couple of them at this end of the field for Newcastle in the second half. Thurston, cut out ball, good hands by Rona. Trying to pass it back on the inside though. Jeremy Smith ends up with it. And the Knights will work it away as we go inside the final 5.
Well, we had to try and keep the ball alive, Curtis Rona, but all the Cowboys had run past the footy, leaving it an easy one for Jeremy Smith.
Here's Gagai getting monstered by Kane Linnett, who was up in his face and read that well. First, and they dragged him back the best part of 10 metres.
Well, after the damage Gagai's done on that side of the field in the second half, there was a bit of meaning and purpose in that one from Kane Linnett.
No doubt who's won that particular battle. Bo Scott set the standard in the first half. In fact, terrific pieces of play. Nicely played by Matthew Wright. Will be their fullback of choice for that game on Saturday night. It's Thursday. Across to Winterstone. We're talking about the 2 teams have in front of them. Will take on the Eels. Boy, here's a nice and shot. Easy. Willie Mason.
Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Wait.
Above the shoulders there on Kane Linnett.
Wait.
He gets back to his feet, to his credit. It's quite a shot from Willie. The Knights have the Eels down there at Pertex Stadium on Sunday afternoon. The Eels will be looking to bounce back. Down convincingly to Melbourne. They were at Amy Park yesterday. Thurston. Cowboys come at them once again for their 4th try of the game. Lewis bypasses Ashton Sims. It was a quick breather for Ashton, who's back out there now. View right, straightening, but well chopped down by Gidley and Tuppeny. Here's Louis again from dummy half, and he'll dive in to score again.
Well, just showed the ball back towards the middle of the field, and that was enough for the defence to hesitate. And Robert Louis is sneaky strong, gets in between the Newcastle defenders. Tarpeny's a little bit slow out of mark of Willie Mason, again out of position. Oh, he's dropped the ball cold. They just dropped it cold.
That is incredible, given how many replays and how many referrals we see these days.
How did that one sneak through?
Well, it's a good thing that it's not a close game. Well, Knights fans letting the referees know all they need to know about that decision.
I wondered why Robert Louis jumped up and wasn't, well, happy about the try. He had a quizzical look on his face, and that's the reason. Matt Cecchin in perfect position. He was quick to award the try. It won't count for anything and won't affect the result.
obviously from his angle, it looked like a stock standard put down. It certainly looked that way watching it live. It wasn't the case in the slow motion replay. Either way, Wayne Bennett, despite this victory, too impressed with some of their goal line defence in this second half.
They're very slow off the line, and it's their markers that aren't doing their job.
Coming out on this right-hand side where Tarek Sims finds himself playing at right centre at the moment. Played it for Louis. James Tarmo. Tarmo tonight, 21 tackles, 15 carries of the ball. Last play, he's Morgan down to Thurston. Players in motion all around him. He slides through. The pass goes to ground. Was a touch by a Knight? Yes, it was. It should be the Cowboys who finish the game in possession with perhaps one more try. And now Boyd gets a shove from Robert Louis because he gave Thurston one on the ground, and everybody coming together.
Well, he did come over the top of Jonathan Thurston there with plenty of force. Robert Louis didn't like it. Willie's just joking.
As ever. Expecting a penalty, but Matt Cecchin has just told you it's going to be the zero tackle.
Gee, got him.
Maybe not after seeing that particular replay.
He blindsided his Queensland teammate there as he was sitting on the ground.
Something to talk about in camp before game 3.
We've got a high tackle. First contact is high. Come on, off we go, mate.
Oh, we're thinking about game 3. I don't know that Darius Boyd would be too concerned about that being on the line, but he might be a little worried that it might be a charge, potentially. Very low-grade, careless tackle for that effort on his Queensland teammate. 40 seconds remaining as Louis goes with Thurston. Back on the inside here for Tarmo. And Clydesdale clutching at a hip. Or perhaps a knee getting tangled up in the play the ball there. Tarmo, Louis trying to make a hat-trick of it from dummy half. This one has come back the way of Ethan Lowe.
He's in some pain, Adam Clydesdale.
Ethan Lowe.
Yeah, mate. We've got no rush.
Tackle 4, Clarkie.
Tackle 4.
He was clutching at his hip immediately after the tackle there. Oh, boy.
Yeah, he's in some pain. Let's hope it's not.
I've seen a couple of dislocated hips in recent times having. Let's watch it again. Adam Clydesdale. Oh, boy, his right leg just buckling underneath him there.
That was awkward. Yeah, you don't want to watch these sort of things again.
A tough night for dummy halves. Already cost Jason Allen with a rib injury for the Cowboys. And in the final 60 seconds, Clydesdale helped from the field. As Michael Morgan puts a kick in, chasing through is Curtis Rona, who wins the race to the ball.
What do you reckon, Dutchie?
He beat Aquila Uwate.
5, Clarkie.
The only question is, did he get the ball down? And Matt Cecchin thinks he did.
Well, he did ask his touch judge his thoughts. We'll go upstairs anyway. I guess after the last one that he awarded to Robert Louis, he was always going upstairs. The second man play with Michael Morgan getting the kick in. Curtis Rona's onside. Aquila Uwate having to turn and chase, but Rona able to sneak around the outside of him. Does a good job to grab the ball.
Didn't get it down initially, but then did, yes, comfortably inside the dead ball line. He's proven himself to be something of a try scorer. And he's now 5 games in the NRL. He's going at a try a game. He's a perfect 5 for 5. We'll see the green lights. And the Cowboys, the final yelp in this one against the Knights, have broken a 7-game losing streak. We've only the conversion attempt from the sideline almost from Jonathan Thurston to come. Hits it with the trademark hook. It's there as well. And the Rona try converted by the Cowboys skipper. It's an unhappy night for North Queensland. They've gone down 36 points to 28 to the Newcastle Knights.
This has been a production of Fox Sports in partnership with the National Rugby League.